You've heard about SARS, AIDS and bird flu. Now researchers from Australia claim we're about to be hit by a new epidemic, motivational deficiency disorder. According to the British Medical Journal, 1 in 5 people are said to suffer from motivational deficiency disorder, or MODID, and most don't even know they have it.
Mr. Moynihan. Hi.
Motivational deficiency disorder was first discovered by a team at Newcastle University, led by the respected neuroscientist Professor Leth Argos.
The condition varies from very mild. There are people who perhaps notice a slight reluctance to get out of bed on Monday morning at the mild end of the spectrum, through to the most severe disease, which is potentially fatal. These are people who find themselves at times in an acute attack unmotivated to breathe, and these people will die.
In partnership with the pharmaceutical company HealthTech, Professor Argos is running a clinical trial of a new drug called Indolabant, which is already showing promising results.
Before I started taking the drug, I couldn't get off the beach. I'd go to the beach, I'd stay there all day. I couldn't move, I couldn't do any housework, I couldn't do any gardening. Eventually I lost my job, I couldn't work. All my life people have called me lazy, but now we know I was sick. And there's lots of people out there who probably think of themselves as lazy, but may be suffering motivational deficiency disorder.
Motivational deficiency disorder, of course, is underestimated, undiagnosed very often, and certainly undertreated.
Professor Argos is now in high demand on the conference circuit, sharing the early results of his drug trials.
The effectiveness that we've seen using Indolabant in the trials has at times been quite remarkable. I had recently the wife of one of our participants ring me, and she was in tears. She was in tears at the extraordinary change in the behaviour of her husband. She reported that after the use of Indolabant, her husband had mowed the lawn, repaired the gutters, and then paid an electricity bill, all in the 1 week.
The new disorder has sparked headlines around the world and raised concerns about the selling of sickness.
I find it truly terrifying how easy it is to create a new disease, and it just shows how very little effort it takes to generate a whole new area of anxiety and the possibility for people convincing themselves that they're ill.
So is motivational deficiency disorder a genuine illness that demands more public attention, or a textbook case of disease mongering, sponsored by drug companies and the physicians on the payroll? Are you concerned that your financial ties to the pharmaceutical company HealthTech could be compromising your independence?
There's been a lot of scurrilous material that's been circulating about my relationship with HealthTech. I want to refute that completely. I have a perfectly ethical relationship with the company. I find that the company is motivated purely by an interest in improving the well-being of people in the community. And I think suggestions to the contrary are simply outrageous.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
No, the government's like this. The government, they don't want you to use your drugs. They want you to use their drugs. So every night on TV, you see a weird-ass drug commercial trying to get you hooked on some legal shit. And they just keep naming symptoms till they get one that you fucking got, okay? They don't even tell you what the pill does. You see a lady on a horse or a man in a tub, and they just keep naming symptoms. Are you depressed? Are you lonely? Do your teeth hurt? What the fuck? Oh shit, they got one! I got that! I'm sick, I need that pill!
Do you know the warning signs of osteoporosis? Unfortunately, there aren't any.
Oh my God! I have osteoporosis!
New rule, if you believe you need to take all the pills the pharmaceutical industry says you do, then you're already on drugs.
It is. It's just a big scam. 80% of all prescription drugs are unnecessary, repetitive, or prescribed only to counteract the effects of other drugs. Oh my God. You know, it's just, and who names these drugs? You know, it's like somebody's getting high at a Star Trek convention. I am Zocor.
Celebrex may increase the chance of heart attack or stroke, which can lead to death.
When taking Abilify, call your doctor if you have high fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction. In extreme cases, this can lead to coma or death. Coma or death. Death. Death.
Did that just say possible death? How are you gonna put diarrhea and possible death in the same category? Western Mexico.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Some people may have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea.
Seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours.
You know, that's why there's a drug problem, man. There's all those drug stores, right? Every 3 or 4 blocks, you know, it's a big sign. Drugs. Open all night. Drugs. We deliver. Drugs. Cut rate. Drugs. It's the biggest thing on their sign. Cosmetics, sundries. Drugs.
There's aspirin, adrenaline, and also aminophylline, amphetamine, adenosine, augmentin, and rifampicin, amoxicillin, penicillin, heparin, and warfarin, and estrogen, progestogen, and canesten, and chloroquine. There's bendraflumethiazide, and also cyclophosphamide, and metoclopramide, acetazolamide, tropicamide, loperamide, amiloride, and cyclazine, and fusamide. And if you're up the duff, then you'd best avoid thalidomide. There's lithium, fluoxetine, and also amitriptyline, paroxetine, digoxin, GTN, and azathioprine, meconazole, atenolol, and also chloramphenicol. And if you want to overdose, there's always paracetamol. There's nightness, and there's phenytoin, Zyrtec, and diazepam, and lithium, temazepam, midazolam, clonazepam, testosterone, aldosterone, and Valium, and insulin, and lignocaine, and Piriton, and Ventolin, and Ritalin. There's kefuroxim, kefataxin, kefalex, kefadrin, and metronidazole, and ketoconazole, trimethoprim, erythromycin, gentamicin, macrolides, mifedapine, and Actifed, and Sudafed, and Calpol with no sugar in. There's phenelzine and hyoscine, ranitidine, cimetidine, potassium and calcium and every kind of vitamin, and pethidine and methadone, and speakercane and heroin, and cannabis and Prozac, morphine, alcohol and nicotine. You must remember all these drugs, the names of which you've learnt from me, or fuck 'em all and get a job in orthopedic surgery.
Ever had a slight headache? Or woken up with a stiff neck? Do you get cold when it's chilly? Hungry if you don't eat? I know I sure do. Until recently, I thought I was perfectly healthy. That's when my doctor told me about Pretenditrin. Pretenditrin alleviates the symptoms of MDD, or mild discomfort disorder. It changed my life, and it can change yours too. With Pretenditrin, I'm confident that whatever's not wrong with me is being treated. That's only half the story. Research has shown that good health is genetic, and I worried that what was not wrong with me could also be not wrong with my kids. So I'm relieved that now there's Pretenditrin Jr. And coming soon, Pretenditrin Pets.
Pretenditrin is not for everyone. Side effects may include nausea, dizziness, false sense of security, bleedouts, and shortness of breath.
Thanks to Pretenditrin, I can do all the things I used to be able to do, but now with the added confidence that I'm doing them while medicated. Pretenditrin, because everybody deserves to be on something.
At 6:30 in the morning, I have a cigarette, and then another on my way to work. At 10 on the dot, like clockwork, I have to go out for a smoke. And then I grab another after lunch.
As you may know, we at AdWatch deconstruct prescription drug commercials, telling you what the ad doesn't. So why are we picking on what looks like a public service announcement that's trying to help people quit smoking? Keep watching, and you may be in for a surprise.
For me, smoking is more than just a habit. It's an addiction to nicotine. You know, quitting isn't easy. And when willpower isn't enough, it's time to talk to your doctor.
It's not easy to quit smoking, and for many people, talking to a doctor is definitely a good idea.
If you want to quit smoking, there is something you can do. Go to mytimetoquit.com or call 1-866-575-1200 to get the information you need to make the most out of your conversation with your doctor.
mytimetoquit.com. That sounds like a helpful site.
You can also sign up to receive tips on quitting and find out more about a prescription treatment option.
At mytimetoquit.com, you will indeed find tips to help you quit smoking. But on every page, there's also a link called Learn About a Prescription Treatment Option. Once you hit that, you're on your way to the website for Chantix, a prescription drug for quitting smoking.
It's 11:35, and it's my time to quit. Hi, Katie. Come on in.
So in our view, this ad is almost like a commercial for the drug Chantix, even though the drug is never mentioned in the ad or on the My Time to Quit website. Chantix happens to be very good at helping people to quit smoking. Not only that, but the relapse rate after about 3 months of use appears to be much lower than that of other methods. So fewer people start smoking again compared to those who use, say, the patch or another pill to quit.
With her doctor's help, Katie quit smoking. So did David. Carol gave up cigarettes too. And Jason and Linda did it together. Every year, millions try to put cigarettes behind them.
So if Chantix is so effective at helping so many people to quit smoking, why is it not mentioned even once in this commercial? We don't know. But if Pfizer had named a drug in the ad, it would also have had to list the most serious side effects. And Chantix has some unfortunate side effects, including what the FDA calls serious neuropsychiatric symptoms. Symptoms like suicidal thoughts, agitation, aggression, and depression, all of which are noted once you reach the Chantix website.
And for many people, it can be the hardest challenge they've ever faced.
Quitting smoking can indeed be quite a challenge, but so can wrestling with the possible side effects of Chantix. The FDA says it's received hundreds of reports of erratic behavior, depressed mood, and suicidal thoughts associated with taking Chantix. These reports are now under review. And the FAA has actually banned pilots from taking it due to emerging evidence of psychiatric disorders.
But with a doctor's help, it doesn't have to be. You too can do it. Don't let another year slip by.
Finally, here's the Pfizer logo. This is the first hint we've had as to who's paying for this commercial and for the My Time to Quit website.
Make a commitment to quitting and make 2009 your time. Go to mytimetoquit.com or call 1-866-575-1200 now.
Chantix is an effective treatment for quitting smoking, but we think that an ad that could be seen as a public service announcement is misleading, especially considering the potentially dangerous side effects of this particular drug. I'm Jamie Hirsch, and this is Consumer Reports AdWatch.
This video was sponsored by no one.
I could give you a million reasons why I've chosen the Protecticil vaccine, but really, it just comes down to one. I'm smart. Smart enough to know that when a major pharmaceutical company tells me to take a drug that's long-term effectiveness is unproven, I should just trust them. Why? Because smart girls do what they're told, and they don't ask questions, especially about stuff that happens down there. So be a smart girl and check out the Protecticil vaccine. Go see a doctor. Ask if Protecticil is right for you. What are you waiting for? Do you need a ride? Because I can drive you. Or I'll pay for the cab. The drug company reimburses me. Did I mention that you get free juice and cookies afterwards? What's your address? Because I could just come over and inject you myself.
Protecticil. Just be a smart girl and get it.
Do you have feelings of inadequacy? Do you suffer from shyness? Do you sometimes wish you were more assertive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, ask your doctor or pharmacist about tequila. Tequila is the safe, natural way to feel better and more confident about yourself and your actions. Tequila can help ease you out of your shyness and let you tell the world that you're ready and willing to do just about anything. You'll notice the benefits of tequila almost immediately, and with a regimen of regular doses, you can overcome any obstacles that prevent you from living the life you want to live. Shyness and awkwardness will be a thing of the past, and you'll discover many talents you never knew you had. Stop hiding and start living with tequila. Tequila may not be right for everyone. Women who are pregnant or nursing should not use tequila. However, women who wouldn't mind nursing or becoming pregnant are encouraged to try it.
Increasing numbers of physicians are now breaking the silence around these issues. They're refusing to meet with drug reps and working to expose Big Pharma's influence on the medical profession.
More and more doctors are becoming outraged with ceaseless mass marketing from the drug companies. Doctors and medical students across the country today took a stand.
Doctors, medical students, and even former industry insiders are raising public awareness through the media, while at the same time organizing within the medical community to challenge the industry's promotional practices.
I'm working with AMSA, which is the American Medical Student Association. AMSA has 60,000 medical students from all over the country, and what they're working on is this big farm-free campaign, pharmaceutical-free. And they believe that although drug companies are needed, drug reps are not needed.
One of the biggest problems has been that nobody was talking about it, that the hidden curriculum was accepting all these gifts okay because the teachers and everybody else were doing it. But there was no other message, and what we've been trying to do now is to get medical schools to explicitly and formally in the curricula themselves in the medical schools to talk to students about this and discuss the ethical and professional issues involved.
In 1999, Bob Goodman created the nonprofit No Free Lunch to help educate healthcare providers, the public, and especially medical students about these issues.
We have a pledge for physicians as well as other healthcare providers to take, which essentially says that they won't accept gifts or other promotional materials, that they'll practice on the basis of the scientific literature. And many patients do email me asking me if there's a physician in their area that has taken the pledge. So it is my hope that eventually that one of the things when the managed care organizations have their list of doctors and it says whether they're board certified and they speak English and Spanish and have they taken the No Free Lunch pledge, that there'll be a yes or no on that for patients to choose them.
Advocates for reform are also moving beyond this focus on individual physicians and patients to argue for more fundamental systemic changes.
Well, in a sense, you can't blame the drug companies for doing what they're doing. These are, after all, investor-owned businesses whose fiduciary responsibility is to maximize the value of their shareholders' stock, that is, to increase profits any way they can. I think my greatest criticism would come for the institutions that have allowed themselves to be corrupted by the drug companies.
Sadly, it appears that our federal government has been really extensively co-opted by the industry. And I'm really not a person given to sort of cynicism or conspiracy theories about this sort of thing, but many people in Congress have said they've got a stranglehold on us.
They get into all the Capitol Hills in every state in the country and in Washington, D.C., and they're spending billions of dollars trying to create legislation that's either going to protect the industry or to help promote the industry.
That's one of the things that the industry does with its vast wealth. It buys influence, and it also uses its wealth to co-opt any institution that might be expected to stand in the way of its drive for profits. So it co-opts, first of all, the U.S. Congress. It gives generously to political campaigns. It has the largest lobby in Washington. Nothing goes through Congress that it hasn't approved. So it begins with U.S. Congress, and then through the U.S. Congress and the administration, it controls to a remarkable extent the FDA.
We need the FDA. The basic structure and the idea behind the Food and Drug Administration was in the public's interest, and I think the framework is there. What's missing is that there has been no oversight. And Congress has allowed the industry to become the FDA's partner in the development of new drugs.
Some senators said the FDA shares the blame.
One of my concerns is that the FDA has a relationship with drug companies that is far too cozy.
The incentives that we have in our healthcare system and kind of healthcare as a business and all aspects of it, business, are really kind of perverse in the sense of how we should be thinking about the public's health.
I think the public is becoming very disillusioned. They're no longer believing that this is a miracle industry in the sense that they may once have believed that. So in a sense, I think it's just a matter of the public starting to put this all together and put pressure on Congress.
Denialis, sleep aid. Are you one of the many Americans having trouble sleeping due to the nagging feeling that something is wrong? Do you have trouble accepting the lies of your authority and leaders, and are they getting in the way of a good night's rest? Do unbelievable Orwellian events that everyone seems not to have a problem with replay themselves in your head over and over again? Would you like to be like them and rest easy at night? Well, rest assured, now there's Denialis, from the makers of Ignores It All. It will have you sleeping and forgetting life's questions in no time, and leave you vibrant and ready to assimilate in the morning without feeling hazy or drowsy. Denialis, just sleep on it, from the makers of Ignores It All. Denialis is not recommended and can be fatal while operating heavy machinery, domestic or military. Anyone in the government diagnosed with megalomania should consult their physician before starting Denialis. Denialis side effects can cause nausea, hallucination, misconceptions, feelings of paranoia, and can hinder the medical detection of megalomania. Consult your physician before taking Denialis.
I loved everything about him. His hands, and the way he smelled. He swept me off my feet.
So what happened?
To a lot of people you say insider trading, it may as well be murder.
Let's get out of here before they change their mind.
I'm gonna put you on some medication. We'll get you through this.
She looks amazing.
She's doing well.
He's made me sick to my stomach.
We'll find something else.
I can get us back to where we were, and I promise I can make that happen.
Okay, baby.
So you're feeling better?
Yeah, much better.
911, what's your emergency?
I need help. Someone's been murdered.
No sign of forced entry. Nobody else on the building security camera. She made the 911 call herself.
Where's her lawyer?
She doesn't have one. Just kept talking about you.
Marianne, do you know that your husband is treating Emily Taylor?
I saw her 4 years ago. I'd be happy to see her have a different kind of experience.
Em, what is going on?
Somebody else did it and made it look like me.
It's gonna follow you around forever.
Yeah, Blixer was her idea.
Whoever makes this drug is going to be rich.
Either she's a murderer or she's the victim.
You knew everything about a Blixer.
Guys said on Wall Street are cashing in because of what happened.
How'd you know that?
Everyone knows. Everyone knows everything, John.
Hey, wait!
Wait for this to happen again?
These prove everything.
Destroy that before it destroys you.
At first I was sitting in an empty room, filmed in black and white. I had a sullen look on my face, indicating I was suffering from some kind of debilitating illness.
And then an actress portraying his wife stepped up behind him and explained that the problem was only getting worse and that he needed to take action.
But how?
You should talk to your doctor about drug.
Drug?
Yes, drug. The legit sounding medical breakthrough that just got FDA approved last week thanks to intense pressure from pharmaceutical lobbyists.
So I talked to an actor dressed as a doctor, in what clearly wasn't a doctor's office, and he recommended I start taking drug immediately. Then the camera panned up and slowly faded to white.
Now we're being filmed in color, and everything is great.
That's right, we're not allowed to say that drug is going to solve all your problems, by showing us running around acting like children,
Taking in the sights.
and enjoying a delicious ice cream cone,
The drug manufacturers can imply that their product has clearly changed our lives.
this is the part of the commercial where we tell you about all the side effects associated with drug. It's important we get through this list as quickly as possible, so you don't remember any of the truly dangerous problems that we mentioned.
Problems like liver failure, suicidal thoughts,
Bowel delocation, and heart stoppage.
as well as sudden bouts of cannibalism. But don't you worry about that.
Because now we're surrounded by adorable kittens.
Talk to your doctor about drug today.
Drug. Vague statement of a better life. Or something.
Profit from problems that don't exist.
Oh, hi there. Tonight, Dr. Vijay would like to show all you enterprising doctors out there how to expand your market and your wallet by privatizing those privates.
Privatize those privates.
Confused? Excited? Let's bring on Assistant Steve. Steve, how does your wife feel about her private parts? Pretty good? Well, Dr. Vijay can soon fix that. It's time to plant that seed of discontent.
Plant that seed.
Steve, there's something missing from this scene. Playboy magazines. Sweet! Try not to get too excited, Steve. In your privates practice, Playboy magazines aren't porn for you. They're reference material for women. Whoa! Let me explain. Thanks to less of these, women are now seeing their own lady bits. And thanks to the popularity of these, they're seeing how other women look down there and getting insecure about what's normal, or as we like to put it, educated.
I understand.
But labia are airbrushed out of porn, so really we're not seeing what's normal at all.
Can Dr. Vijay help it if this is what women ask for? Dr. Vijay does not solve problems. He makes the most of them. Hit it, Steve. Voila! Your website will feature all kinds of naughty, nasty before images all fixed up into happy, generic after images thanks to you. These, Steve, combined with porn, that is, reference material, form what Dr. Vijay calls the twin seeds of discontent and will have women educated about their grotty cooches in no time.
What's this called?
That's a good question, Steve. To answer it, we need the second step in privatizing those privates. Make it science.
Make it science.
Ouch! Tell me about it. So, Steve, this is how not to talk about, or as Dr. Vijay would say, market what we do.
Isn't that called female genital mutilation?
Female genital cosmetic surgery, yes, otherwise known as cosmetogynecology. Ah, here it is. It's important to wrap your private's practice in medical terminology, making what we do scientific, giving us legitimacy. It also helps to differentiate what we do down there from what they do down there. You can also throw in the words laser, designer, expert to really make things hot, hot, hot. Now, remember how we need to differentiate cosmetogynecology from what they do down there, Well, make it feminist. Their women are oppressed by their ethnic culture. Our women, please, they're sassy, they're liberated. Look out, boys. You see how I'm supporting sexual agency without being sleazy? This is important. Try using pun and innuendo as opposed to being an outright dick. Dr. Vijay knows what it's like to be in a stigmatized profession. Just remember, we're warriors. Warriors in the war against oppressive beef curtains. Or rather, hypertrophic labia. So remember, to get that money you need, plant that seed, make it science, make it pink, make it feminist, and you too can turn your private practice into a private's practice. Join Dr. Vijay next week for Ouch, That Rash Looks Like Cash, giving you even more surefire tips and techniques to succeed in the business of medicine.
I do drug sales with my emails. I can treat anyone who is sick, males or females. All I have to do is point and click. Oh man. No relations to your patients, so you don't use your stethoscope much. Separation, so you never have to feel or touch. Your hands clean. Never have to move from my screen. Glued to his screen. No more making smears. No more shedding tears. No more quelling fears, so my hands stay clean. Oh man. We're so giddy. Profit's pretty. And we don't have to be face to face. Found our place. We are doctors in cyberspace.